Hi everybody, it's a new day and today's vlog is going to be a discussion on protest and the Christian. We have seen a lot of protest in America over this police officer killing a black man, and the protest itself bothers me. I have trouble seeing protest as a godly or constructive behavior. And somebody's going to say, I don't like that statement, and I'm sorry, but that's personal opinion about protest. So I checked my King James Bible concordance and found that the word is used 6 times in the Bible. And all but one of those is God protesting or God's leaders protesting against sin and failure, usually among God's people. So protest is an option no matter what my opinion is. I don't like to say that. I thought my opinion was important. So the question I really ask is this: what does godly protesting look like? And as I looked through the Bible, one of the places I looked was Esther, where they protested Mordecai's or Haman's unjust edict to get the Jews killed. And I also looked at David in the Psalms, and I learned this: biblical protesting does speak up against wrongs, and biblical protesting prays. It goes to God and lays out the complaint before God, looking for God to provide an answer, to do the changes, to make the changes. Psalm 102:1, David says, I poured out my complaint. Psalm 55:2, David says to God, please listen to me, paraphrase. I mourn in my complaint. So there's sorrow in protesting too. So in the book of Esther, the Jews mourn. They pray, they fast, they weep. And they do it in the king's gate, so it's even public. Esther 4, 1, 2, and 3, verses 1, 2, and 3. And then Esther, a representative of God's people, the Jews, boldly, respectfully, and wisely presents the Jews' case before the king. So much of the protest we see today has no respect, a lot of brazen boldness, and no wisdom. There is no destruction of property in Esther, no injuring of individuals. The king does respond by injuring the man who caused the problem in the first place, Mordecai or Haman. So godly protesting puts the complaint into God's hands and lets God deal with it, with the injustice and with the wrongdoer. Ungodly protesting is to take matters into your own hand, damaging property, hurting people. I have a lot of respect for Coach Tony Dungy, the retired NFL football coach. He is not ashamed of his relationship with Jesus Christ. And his response to the injustice that was done to the black man of his own race by a police officer was to share a tweet of a sheriff turning a protest to a love parade. I put the link for this in the description of today's vlog. So I recommend looking at it. It's really a beautiful thing. He joined the protesters and had his policemen join and said, let's make this a parade, not a protest. It was awesome. There is a right way to speak up. It does not disrespect authority, and it does not disrespect the injured party. It doesn't disrespect anybody. Dungy said this: "Our walk with God requires us to keep seeking a conversation about love for our fellow man, however difficult that conversation and its detractors might be." That is so well said. It is difficult to seek a conversation about love for each other when the pain of injustice is so real. But it still should be a conversation about love. And I know it's difficult for myself to not want to have a different conversation. So one closing thought is needed. You will struggle to build love, relationships and conversations of love for others if you think that we can get rid of the injustice of the whole world and eliminate it so that it doesn't come back. The only way to eliminate the injustice in the world permanently is for Jesus Christ to come back and make all things right, because only He can make all things right. So when there's injustice, protest in a godly way and let God make things right.